The Boston Bruins and the NHL have been involved in a lot of firsts. And this guy, some people said at the time he was the most handsome athlete in the NHL, and I tend to agree. Look at the picture. I'm a heterosexual, but I thought he was a tall drink of water. Now, today we're going to be talking about the curious case of the great native of Holyoke, Massachusetts, the very talented Gerry Geran. Now, Pierce George Gerry Geran was the first American-born player in the NHL when he appeared in 4 games with the Montreal Wanders in the NHL's first season, which was 1917-18. He would later go on to play 1 season in France, the first American to do so, and he also spent several years playing in the United States Amateur Hockey Association. Now, he returned to the NHL in 1926 with the Bruins and finished a career 1 season later in the AHA. Now, internationally, he played for the American national team at the 2020 Summer Olympics, the first Olympics to feature ice hockey, and won a silver. Now, 5'9", 180, the inaugural player from the States NHL. Now, I don't know if any dual citizens had made it before, but that's for the mist of time. Now, the Wanderers would have done well in the playoffs that year, but the Westmount Arena, burnt down on January 2nd, 1918, and with no alternate, the team folded after 6 games, and Geran had played in 4 of them. Now, in 1922, he signed with Francais Volant, a team based in Paris, again becoming the first U.S. player to skate in France. He scored 88 goals in 8 games there. Now, he eventually returned to the U.S. and spent the next several years playing in Boston, the United States Amateur Hockey Association, and in 25 went back to the NHL when he signed with the Boston Bruins. Now, Art Ross was the manager of the Bruins at the time, who had been Geran's teammate on the Wanderers and a good friend. He played 33 games in 26, scoring 5 goals and 1 assist, and left the league after that. Now, again, in 37 career NHL games, he scored 5 goals and 6 points. He eventually joined the St. Paul Saints of the new AHA and spent 1 year there. He eventually returned to France in 32 and played a final season of hockey with Racing Club de France before retiring. At the time of his retirement from the rink, in 33, he was the last player from the Wanderers still playing pro hockey. After retiring, he took part in the 1941 effort to unionize hockey players, but that did not lead to anything. His last known work was in 1962 as a federal worker in New York City. Now, he was named to the amateur national team for the States for the 1920 Olympics in Antwerp, Belgium, and again, it was the first tournament to feature ice hockey. Now, his great play allowed the Americans to win the silver, and the big highlight was a very, very scintillating hat trick against Sweden. Now, in spite of this professional obstacle, he was nevertheless allowed to play in the Olympic Games. Now, the Brundage ruled he didn't want pros playing at the Olympics, but I think it was stretched for him because at the time he was a pure amateur, because the association was playing with at the time. Don't tell anybody, but they probably were paying under the table, but it wasn't above the table in the press. Now, he was named to the American team for the 24 Winter Olympics, but never joined up. And information on that is kind of fuzzy. We don't know why he never officially skated. If anybody knows out there, let me know. Now, again, some great results at Dartmouth College. Played there in 16 and 17. Played for Boston Navy Yard in 1918 of the U.S. NHL, scoring 7 goals. Of course, the 4 goal games with the Wanderers in 1918. 1920 and 21, played with the Boston Shoe Trades of the USA HA, 3 goals and 21. Francais Volant, 88 goals in 8 games in 22. And 23, 24, and 25, the Boston AA Unicorns of the USA HA, 14 goals in 23 and 9 games, 9 goals in 24 in 10 games, with 3 goals in the playoffs, and 25, 13 goals in 19 games. Now 26, again with Boston, 5 goals and 1 assist for 6 points in 33 games. St. Paul, 2 points in 27, and Racing Club de France in 33 as well. Now at the Olympics in 1920, again 3 big goals against Sweden. But from what I heard, ladies and gentlemen, oh, by the way, unfortunately he passed away in Brooklyn September 8th, 81 at age 85. But a very smooth player. Basically, some people compared him to kind of a style of like a Glenn Anderson, a Mike Gartner, knew the ice well, and even in a French league, to score 11 goals a game, you gotta know how to finish off a play. And we're playing, of course, the normal 60 minutes, so he was averaging a goal every 5 minutes. Now, what I want you to do, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a chance, read up about the 1920 Summer Olympics Antwerp tournament. It's quite interesting because hockey wasn't an exhibition sport at the time. So to have it at the Olympics, this was one of the few times where winter sport was competing for at a summer games. I think some of the figure skating divisions were there as well. So Gerry Geran, what a career. We're proud to do it. And this was a request from one of the followers of our channel. I'm sorry I didn't do it before, but there was some question many years ago he was the first American, but it has been pretty well confirmed by researchers for the Wanderers that he was. And the career proves that averaging 5 to 8 goals a game at the best part of his career, tremendous skater. Ladies and gentlemen, if you like what we're doing here with our vintage podcast, so please let us know. Give us a like, comment, or subscribe. And don't forget, requests are always encouraged, because ladies and gentlemen, this is your channel. This is come here to discuss hockey, to read about the past, about the future, the current, like the Connor McDavid podcast we did today, Edmonton being knocked out. This is a non-monetized channel. I don't get paid for it. It's a tribute for my 38 plus years as a journalist to the many sports and the many athletes I've covered. I do this as a public service. I'm not making any money off this. And if you enjoy it, that's the only fee I can get. And if you have requests, let me know, because I learn every day from you guys, like probably maybe you learn from me, I hope. Thanks for listening. Bye.